So we've just seen our future young leaders, perhaps. Do they fill you with hope, Mara?
Oh, I love them so much. Like, I also don't want to be one of those patronising 30-somethings who's like, oh, they're so great, they're so full of hope. But they are, and it's like so great to see politics like from their positions, kind of their party positions, but their positions, and just like that unpolished nature. Like I remember thinking back to the Tauranga candidate debate.
Yep.
It was the same, on Newshub Nation, same sort of thing, where it's great to see people who are newer at the game and that don't have all that media training, don't have those sound bites. It's great to see.
Yeah, what did you think, Jordan?
I agree. It's the raw emotion and it's sort of the almost lack of filter. There's some of the interjections were really good, and it's a way that you sort of have that, not ideological, but it is. Yeah, it's more raw, isn't it?
Yeah.
The classic youth politics, and look, I was there. Unfortunately, I was looking at that thinking, which one would I have been? Because
you would have been on the Green Party, right?
Yeah, I was. I was very anti-GE, and I would have been there for the Greens. But as you get older, you learn more about opportunity costs and about things like that.
Yeah. So. The world is their opportunity. We talked a couple of issues there. One of them was vaping, which was interesting. Nobody put their hand up with that, and statistically, you know, it is seen to be a bit of a problem and an issue that needs regulation. Yeah. Jordan, I'm going to ask your opinion first. We should point out that you are partly funded by the tobacco industry.
We're 2% industry funded, and a subset of that, there is a nicotine industry in there.
Right, so does that mean that your policy is there should be no regulation on vaping?
No, not at all. The first thing is you know, vapes are only for above 18, but that isn't being enforced, and that is truly wrong. Having said that, New Zealand is a success story in terms of, particularly compared to Australia, in actually getting people off the cigarettes onto something that's at least 95% safer.
Right. So they seem to be, I mean, from ACT's point of view, that goes sort of difference to ACT's point of view, which is like a personal choice for everybody, so it's quite libertarian, and the government's bringing in, let's say, these laws around, schools, and marae in particular. It was interesting that Te Pāti Māori's Hana got offended by the marae comment, didn't she?
Yeah. This one is tough in terms of you've got trade-offs here. None of us want to see our kids vaping. On the other hand, New Zealand, you know, particularly the Māori Party, have led the, zero smoke for smoke-free New Zealand.
Smoke-free New Zealand.
We're on the path. We're going to get there.
Okay, and it's optimistic. Some people don't think we are.
But, no. I mean, even ASH, the anti-smoking groups, have come around to our view. I mean, we were very early on. I mean, we came admittedly from the tax point of view, because we're taxing the poorest communities in New Zealand a heck of a lot. Vastly more than what the costs are to the health system. We can't. How do we stop kids from picking it up while protecting the good things?
All right. Well, we're going to move on to other issues. Lara, I was really interested in your perspective on how youth engagement is changing over elections. Are they more engaged or less engaged?
Well, we don't have a lot of data on that, actually, other than the sort of turnout statistics of that young kind of teenage group. And I mean, the one thing that people always argue is it's not just voter turnout. So, like, those rangatahi, for example, were, they're kind of participating in droves.
They are totally into it, yeah.
But there's not a lot of data. I mean, we've done some work with the Youth 19 survey as part of the adolescent health research group, and kind of seen that actually young people are quite kind of concerned, and this was before COVID, concerned about things like mental health, concerned about things like inequality and just, school not being up to date.
Is anybody doing work on how to increase that engagement?
Well, the Electoral Commission always is doing kind of that kind of work, I guess. Yeah. But it's like a case of we actually don't have a lot of sort of research funding in New Zealand and a lot of research into things like...
So there is no answer, or there's no... I mean, is there any kind of example that we should be following to improve that? Like, is Australia somewhere to look at, or any other jurisdiction?
Well, Australia's got compulsory voting, so that's
there you go,
a whole other can of fish, kettle of fish, whatever it is there. But I think generally it is a case that people, like that, I think that group shows that there are really hyper-engaged young people that do have a lot of strong opinions.
Yeah, but Jordan, they would not be representative, right? Would they? Okay, so how do we, attract the people that aren't engaged and get them over the line into the voting booth?
As political apparatchiks or people that have their career in politics, of course we want everyone to be as interested as we are. I don't think you can make it happen, though. And the fact is that, as you go through stages of life, now I own my own house, I've had kids, that changes your view on things naturally. I think that yes, we want to ensure that our 18-year-olds or 16-year-olds understand how democracy works and the voting system and things like that.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. But trying to force the sort of the interest, I don't think you can do it.
Yeah, the point is that if you, as an older voter, are making the political decisions for the younger people, if they don't get engaged, they have to live with our political decisions, right? You know?
I mean, that's what being an adult's about. I mean, you know, this is the if the vote for 16, you know, good on those guys for doing it. But if not, if 18 can't be justified, why 16? Like, where do you draw that line?
Okay, all right. I just want to move on quickly. Today is a big day for political parties because the hoardings are allowed to go up. And so have you seen any on your way here?
No, I was quite close though. But I think I will have a bit of a drive, just have a hoon around, have a look at what's been put up, because it's quite cool. Like, it is one of those kind of markers of the campaign starting, where, like, the regular people who are not into politics go, oh no, here we go again. But for the rest of us, it's like, oh, who's showing what colours are out, like what, you know.
So it brings it alive, and it brings it into everybody's. You're driving around, it's there, you can't avoid it now. It kicks it off.
So, like, there was the start of the regulated period, whatever. This actually kind of kicks it off for regular people, where politicians become part of their life. And we still know that at this point, looking at something like the New Zealand election study, 30-40% of people haven't fully made their mind up.
Right.
So that's, I mean, there's still votes to win, still a lot of time to go.
Okay, we're going to pick up some more hoarding discussion when we come back to you guys for our second panel. But for the moment, thank you so much, Jordan, and thank you so much, Lara. We'll see you soon.